Welcome back, my loyal fans, to another epic episode of Mac Movie Review, which is like the subset of Mac Music Review that I do in this channel, but it's not actually a separate channel. It's like just a thing I do on the Mac Music Review channel. Anyway, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 best movie directors, or my top 5 directors. And I just got to say, in this video, I am specifically talking about directors. In my top 5 are going to be directors. You're probably not going to agree with, if you're a big movie fan like I am, but someone who watches a ton of movies, you're probably going to not agree with my top 5, but I'm specifically doing it to highlight directors that don't often get talked about as, you know, being in the best director category. Either directors that just don't get enough love for their work or for their movies, and directors that, generally speaking, don't, you know, they just don't have a lot of attention, and names get overlooked. But in the honorable mentions, I'm going to be including the legends, the best of the best, apparently, or who are supposed to be the top 5, but who I'm putting in the honorable mentions, so I can really shine a light on these other directors that don't have as much of that title of being one of the best directors of all time. Anyway, here are the honorable mentions. For the sake of this not being a super long video, I'm just going to go through these kind of fast. Paul Thomas Anderson, the guy made There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love, and The Master. In full disclosure, the only film I've seen out of that list of movies, those are like his most famous, and I mean all of these movies are like have a legendary reputation among critics. He's one of the most critically acclaimed directors of all time. There Will Be Blood is the only one that I've seen from this list, and it's a fantastic movie. It's absolutely amazing. And yeah. Next, Martin Scorsese. Now, the thing about this guy is, you know, he probably is the best movie director of all time, but I'm just not going to give him that spotlight on this channel with 70-something subscribers. I'm not going to give him that, you know. He doesn't need me to tell him that he's the best director. He made The Irishman, most recently a Netflix movie that's just amazing. One of the best of 2019. He made Taxi Driver. He made the movie Hugo. He made the movie Goodfellas. This guy is just, his track record is kind of absolutely fantastic. And to be honest, once again, like Paul Thomas Anderson, I haven't seen all of this guy's movies because he has a lot of movies, but the ones I have seen, I absolutely love. Like the ones that I have seen are really great, and he's remarkably consistent and just an amazing director. One of the best, but once again, I'm saving him for the honorable mention so I can highlight some people who don't get all the love, some underrated directors in the top 5. Quentin Tarantino is like my brother's favorite. I have 2 brothers. I'm kidding. I have 4 brothers, but I have 2 brothers who watched all of his movies together, and they absolutely love him. I think it's both of them would say that Quentin Tarantino is their favorite director. Definitely not my favorite director, but this guy's made the Kill Bill movies, which are just absolutely fantastic. Kill Bill is one of my all-time favorite movies. He made Reservoir Dogs, which is also really great. He made Django Unchained. I mean, all of his movies are cult classics, every single one of them. And they're basically all of his movies are in the IMDb top 250 movies of all time. He made Pulp Fiction, which is one of the most critically acclaimed and legendary films just ever made. It's universally known as one of the best movies of all time. He made Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is also great. I mean, this guy is just a fantastic director. He's so good. He's so good. His films are all very violent, very vulgar, very profane, and very awesome. Let's talk about Bong Joon-ho. Bong Joon-ho, I'm apologizing for saying his name wrong. He's the guy who made the movie Parasite, but he also made The Host, and he also made Okja, and he also made a movie called Mother, and he also made, I mean, there's two films called Mother. I'm talking about the one that everybody likes. There's the one that everyone fights about. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that is by Bong Joon-ho. He's made Memories of a Murderer, or whatever it's called. To be honest, I haven't seen all this guy's films, but I will tell you that everything I have seen is just really, really great. Like, I mean, just like objective. Oh, he made Snowpiercer. I can't believe I forgot about Snowpiercer. Dude, Parasite is an amazing movie. The Host is an amazing movie. Snowpiercer is an amazing movie. This guy is one of the most ambitious and skilled and talented directors of all time. Like, he's an absolute legend. Like, you have to watch his movies, man. Because a lot of people saw Parasite because it was just a huge movie. It's so popular. But you need to watch his like more underrated movies, films that not everyone's seen, like Snowpiercer and The Host and Okja. Okja's on Netflix. Snowpiercer's on Netflix. The Host is on Amazon Prime. That's what I watched it on. So his movies are on streaming. If you don't watch his movies, you're just missing out. I'm looking at my notes, and I wrote down Steven Spielberg because the man is an absolute legend. And I think Steven Spielberg is the most famous and the most legendary director, because he really created a lot of people's childhoods from like the 80s, and he's honestly, longer than that, he's been amazing. He made movies like Schindler's List, which is his absolute best. One of the greatest films of all time. It's in my top 5 movies of all time. It's just an absolutely heartbreaking and legendary and fantastic movie. I think it's either 4 or 5 for me in my favorite movies of all time. But it's amazing. He made Jaws. He made the Back to the Future movies. He made Indiana Jones. He made E.T. Like, the guy is just the maker of nostalgia. He made the BFG, and he made Ready Player One, movies that I think are underrated. I'm not going to include this guy in my top 5 because, once again, I want to use that top 5 spot for people who people are not talking about. I want to talk about people who are not getting the love that of course, Spielberg already has, and his amazing legacy that he's created. But, yeah. Now, obviously, all of these directors are amazing. They're all great. But they're all just so just widely known as being amazing. I want to talk about people who you're not talking about, who are not in this discussion of the greatest directors of all time. I want to talk about directors that really, that honestly, a lot of these in this top 5 are not going to be as great directors as the ones I already talked about. But I'm going to talk about some amazing directors that you're sleeping on. Here we go. We're going to kick it off at number 5. And by the way, this is not a ranked list. It's just 5. So, I mean, I don't have to say number 5. Well, this is the first one. Here we go. Damien Chazelle. This man, in case you're not familiar with the name, because a lot of people are not familiar with the name, is the guy who made the movies La La Land, First Man, and Whiplash. And La La Land and Whiplash are both near perfect movies. The amount of skill and talent that went into the making of these movies, and the directing, and the intensity, and the beauty, and the colors, and the acting, which I guess isn't, anyway, good casting choices. Anyway, the editing, I mean, these movies are absolutely phenomenal. I'm by the way, when I said these movies, I'm referring to Whiplash and La La Land, because I haven't seen First Man. I need to watch it. It personally doesn't sound interesting to me at all. That kind of movie kind of bores me. But it's like a biopic about astronauts. Blah. Anyway, please don't sleep on this guy. He's an amazing director. Nope, you're not hearing me wrong. Ben Stiller is on this list. The actor most famous for Zoolander and the Night at the Museum movies. Anyway, this guy has made a couple movies. He made a movie called Reality Bites, which I haven't seen. He made Zoolander. He made Tropic Thunder. He made The Cable Guy. He made The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And I think something that's in common in all of his films is that he is absolutely just doing whatever he wants. And I absolutely love that. He is not holding back. He is literally just unrestrained. I will make the movie I want to make with no holds barred, no conventional thing. And a lot of these films, I would say, are not even great films, but they're films that just feel so unapologetically whatever they want to be that I just absolutely love them. Also, the actual reason he's on the list is because he made The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which is my favorite movie of all time. Yeah, that's the real reason. But seriously, I do think, even though I don't love most of the films I've seen by him, or I don't even think they're great movies, I just really, really respect how he's willing to do anything. And nothing is off the table for Ben Stiller, and he'll just make a movie, and people will hate it, and some people will love it. That's how most of his films are. Yeah. Yep, Brad Bird is my all-time favorite director. Surprise, surprise. And the thing about including Brad Bird is once again one of those directors who has made very critically acclaimed films. Three extremely critically acclaimed films: Ratatouille, The Incredibles, and Iron Giant. But despite the critical acclaim, he's just not a director that's talked about a lot because he hasn't really done anything amazing since like the 2000s when he made these movies. Um, and his movies are animated, and for that reason also he gets swept under the rug. He also made Tomorrowland and a Mission Impossible film, which both of which I really want to watch again because he is my favorite director. I think he just has so much power and he has such a vision. He's such a vision, and he just follows through on it. And the real reason I'm putting him on here is not for any like pretentious reason. It's just that I absolutely adore the films Incredibles, Ratatouille, and Iron Giant. I think they're some of the best animated movies of all time. And he is behind every one of them, and I love that. And he's amazing. Wes Anderson. Now, this is a little bit more of a conventional pick, but at the same time, his movies are honestly not that critically acclaimed. They're not. They're not like in the greatest. No one ever talks about his movies like they're the greatest of all time. They're usually known as quirky, and he has a very strong fan base. But there's also a lot of people who don't like his movies. There's a lot of people who don't like Wes Anderson. So I think it is fair to put him in this top 5 with other directors that are kind of underrated. Because this guy, honestly, with the amount of hate he gets, I could say that he's underrated or just someone that people are not really talking about. Yeah. He's actually really great. I think he's the most consistent director I've ever watched. I think I've given every film I've seen by him an 8. And and that's including The Life Aquatic. The ones I haven't seen that are supposed to be his worst are Bottle Rocket and Darjeeling Limited. But who knows? I might even like those films a lot once I watch them. Those are the ones. Also haven't seen Moonrise Kingdom. But he's an amazing director. And just very, very singular and distinctive style. And yeah, I think he's just extremely consistent and great movies. Tim Burton. This is a weird pick. This is a problematic pick. Because Tim Burton's made a lot of movies which people absolutely hate or that have just been trashed. He's made movies like Dark Shadows, which I haven't seen. He made the Alice in Wonderland live action film, which is not bad. It's not a bad movie, okay? It's not. I'll say that. But he made The Corpse Bride, and he's most famous for making the movie Nightmare Before Christmas, and he didn't. He doesn't get any credit. I'm talking about directors. He didn't direct that. Henry Selick, or I don't know how to say that guy's name, but he directed it, and he's a great director. Not on this list. He's not that great. But he's made like 2 really good movies. Anyway, Tim Burton, he made the movie Edward Scissorhands, a cult classic, Beetlejuice, a cult classic, Big Fish, a cult classic, and Pee-wee, a cult classic. The man, kind of like Ben Stiller, but even more so, he's a much more famous name in terms of directing. Tim Burton is a very well-known name. He's famous for having extremely white casts and having Johnny Depp in all of his movies. And honestly, once again, this is a director like what's his name? Like Wes Anderson, who will literally he has a vision and a very distinctive style and tone that he sets with all of his movies. And it's to just be weird. And like Ben Stiller, he's not afraid of just being weird and doing his own thing and doing whatever he wants. No matter, even if people hate it, even if people love it. I don't think any of his films are universally loved. It's always someone hates it, someone loves it. And I love polarizing films, and this man makes polarizing films. Also, Pee-wee's Great Adventure is a wildly great movie. It's not actually great, but you should definitely watch it. That's it. I recommend you check out films from all these directors. In fact, I really need to watch a lot more films. I need to see more Bong Joon-ho films. I need to watch more Paul Thomas Anderson movies. I should watch more Martin Scorsese movies. I've seen all the Spielberg movies, whatever, or most of them. I need to watch Reality Bites by Ben Stiller. I gotta watch those. I gotta watch the Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I gotta watch some more. I've seen the Tim Burton movies. I need to watch some more Wes Anderson movies. I could watch more movies. You could watch more movies. Watch movies and have a great rest of your day.